In this video, we're going to take a look at how to graph cosine functions. During this video, I'm going to refer back to the video prior to this one in which we graphed the sine function. I'm going to be using the same two examples. The process is going to be the same, meaning we're going to use the 5 key points. We're going to identify amplitude and period in order to plot our graph. The function is written, remember, as y equals a cosine bx. And in order to find our amplitude, we're going to look at our value of a, and in order to identify our period, we're going to look at our value of b. Remember that the difference in our cosine graph is that instead of starting at the origin and going up for our next point, our graph is going to start up at our high point and go down in order to get to our next point. So when we are working on the cycle for our cosine graph, we're going to start here at our peak of our amplitude and then go down and come back up to the next peak of our amplitude in order to complete one cycle of our graph for cosine. So it's important to remember where we're starting when we're thinking about our cosine graph. So our steps to graph are going to be the same. We're going to identify our amplitude using the absolute value of a. We're going to identify the period of our graph, which is how long it takes to complete one cycle. And we're going to use the formula 2 pi over b, which is the same thing we did for sine. And then we're going to identify those 5 key points, which is our starting point, the next point of where we go through that x-axis. So our third point, which is where we go next, which is going to be a minimum point. So we have our start, and then we have 2 zeros here, a minimum point and a maximum point to be our 5 key points. So we have all 5 of these points that we want to identify. And this last point is going to be the end of our cycle. And that is going to end with the length of the period of our cycle here. All right, so here's the same graph, or the same function, that we graphed in our last video, only this time we're going to use cosine as our function. So y equals 3 cosine of 2x. Our amplitude in our function is 3, so our value of a is 3. So what that means is the max value is going to be 3, the minimum value is going to be negative 3. Our period in this function is going to be 2 pi over b. So we're going to say 2 pi over 2. Remember, this is our b value right here. So our period is going to be pi. So I've already counted off our increments because we talked about doing that the last time, so I didn't go through that again. It's the same numbers. So our first coordinate, our first point, is still going to start at 0. But remember, because it's the cosine function, we're going to start our first point at 0, 3, because we're going to start up here on the y-axis and go down because it's a cosine function and it has a different starting point. It has a different shape than the sine function. Well, it's not a different shape, but it has a different action than the sine function at its starting point. So what we're going to do is we're going to start up here at 0, 3, and we're going to go down to its next point on the x-axis. So our next point is going to be a quarter of a point or a quarter of a period away from its starting point. So its next point is going to be pi over 4 away. So I'm going to add pi over 4 in order to get to the next point. I don't really need to do this arithmetic in order to get there. I can see on my x-axis what the next point's going to be, but mathematically I'm going to see that it's going to be pi over 4 is where I'm going to land next. So I'm going to come down to here for my next point. Now my third key point, if I'm ever asked for the 5 key points, this is how we obtain them, is going to be pi over 4 plus another quarter point or quarter period. So pi over 4 plus pi over 4. So it's going to be 2 pi over 4, which is going to be pi over 2, which is exactly the next point. And I only want to come down as far as -3 because that's my amplitude. That's as far as this function goes. The next place this graph is going to go, it's going to come back up, because once it hits -3, it turns around and comes back up. So my fourth key point, I don't even need to do that arithmetic, is going to be 3 pi over 4. I can see it on my graph that that's what it's going to be. And that's the end for the fifth point, is the end of this cycle. It ends at pi. That's the period. That's where I should end, and it should end up here at 3. So now I can sketch that curve. So because my scale is off, because it's just a sketch, it looks more like a V than a nice smooth curve, which that's unfortunate. But I'm going to try to sketch this here with a little bit of curve in it, but it's not working. So let's see here. I went ahead and tried to salvage that curve a little bit. This is how it would extend and keep on going if I were to continue on that cosine function out into the next period. Okay, again, here's the same function we graphed for sine, only this time we're going to graph it for cosine. Y equals 2 cosine 1/2 x. The amplitude of this function is going to be 2. That means our maximum value for the positive is going to be 2. The minimum is going to be -2. Our initial point is going to start at 0. So our value is going to be 0, 2. That means we're going to start up here at 0, 2. And we're going to start and go down towards pi. So our second value is going to be down here at pi 0. So that's going to be our next point, which if we're going to do that calculation, and we'll just do the first one, it means we're going to add a quarter of a period to our first point. So it's going to be 0 plus a quarter of a period. So if our period is 4 pi, that means we're going to have 4 pi divided by 4, which equals pi. So that means we're adding pi each time we make a move in order to get to the next part of our wave. So we're going to pi, which is exactly where we landed. Then we're going to go to the next part, which is 2 pi, and we're only going down here as far as -2. So we're going down to 2 pi, and if mathematically, if I'm going to add that to get my third key point, I'm saying pi plus that quarter period gives me 2 pi. The fourth point, I can see it on my graph, should be 3 pi. 2 pi plus that quarter period of pi is 3 pi. And the last one is 3 pi plus that quarter period of pi is 4 pi, which is right where I should end up because that is the end of my cycle. And I'm going to end up here, no higher than 2. So I want to sketch that curve. So there's one cycle of that cosine curve. If I'm going to continue sketching, I can do that. I know that I'm going to come down here to 5 pi, and then I'm going to come down here because I'm moving in increments of pi, which are quarter periods. And this isn't perfect because it is just a sketch, and I just rough sketched it here on my iPad. I can't make it perfect without a grid here. And then I'm going to rough sketch it on here, which is difficult to do. So bear with me. Doesn't look perfect, but there it is. We're getting it done, which is all we can do. All right. And then it'll just continue on into infinity. And then the same going back the other direction. We can come down here because of course it goes the other direction as well. And let's see, we'll try to make it look the same. And then it'll just keep going. All right. And that's how you graph cosine. In our next demonstration, we'll take a look at how to deal with phase shifts and horizontal shifts as well.